Welcome to another episode of Wilson's Fine Woodworking. Woodworking isn't perfect. We all seem to make mistakes, and sometimes we just don't understand why they happen. Other times we do. Just remember that experience isn't necessarily a compliment because it happens to all of us. I want to show you one that I found while doing these Dados. After doing 22 cabinets, this came up. If I put in a piece here, look at what happened here. The dado is extra wide at that one end. Well, I made up this. It's a tapered piece, end grain, and it's also tapered this way because of the saw cut. And watch what happens. I slide it, and this is at the bottom. You don't really see this. This is inside. Here's another piece. I'm putting the smaller one in. See here the control. That one's got 2 cuts on it. There we go. Drops right in, slide it in, and down she goes. And it will be glued in place. Okay? How do you make something like that without hurting yourself? That's the trick. Well, here's what I came up with. I cut a piece that was the right length. I needed almost exactly 6 inches. Here is the 6-inch piece that I used. And you can see that I built up the back edge with a bunch of tape. Okay, there must be 6, 7 layers of tape on there. And what I did was, I knew that this had to be narrow at one end, wider at the other by 1 millimeter. Okay, this end was, some of you are in inches, this end is about 3.5 millimeters, and this end is about 2.5 millimeters. Okay, now what I did, because I put tape on this end, when I shove the piece through, it'll be skinnier at this end, narrower, than at this end. That's why this is turned like this, so you can see it. Okay, so I measured until it was my 3.5 millimeters beyond the point of the blade. And then I built this out until this was 1 millimeter less. Then I simply shoved it through. And when I shoved it through, this got cut off. I then discovered, because of the saw blade mark in there, I had to curve this end. It was cut. Now I've sanded it a little bit just to make it fit a little bit better. It was quite easy to sand. I just put it on a block of wood and with a sanding block, sanded a little bit, and it fit. The nice thing is, this piece, to show you how it got curved, if I take off the tape and I go through, it's not parallel anymore. So, if I go beyond this piece, okay, it says I'm 12.3, and I should have this at 12. So if I shove this through, because this is already tapered, it'll be taking some off there and less off here. You watch what happens. It might not be exact, but you'll get the idea because it's not square. You watch what happens. You can see that the piece is thinner at this end and thicker there, just like this one. Okay, now try it. We didn't have a guard there on purpose because it interferes with the little pieces. They might break